Hello, namaste. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support. So while you're coming over, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Friday the 22nd of July here, and it's exactly 8:28 p.m. End of day here. I just got out of the bath actually. Just got out of a nice long soak in the bath, and I'm like, oh yes, I feel like doing a video. So I'm here to create a video, but it's going to be a little different because, as you probably have heard, if you've caught my videos lately, because they've been majorly censored, I can't play any music of my instruments because they keep being flagged as copyright, and Facebook are censoring my videos because of the live music I'm playing, claiming that I am playing someone else's music or something. So I won't be using musical instruments for a week or so, and we'll just get things settled again, and hopefully they'll get their stupidity sorted out. So the only thing I could think of, well, I could think of doing something creative like artistic, but I didn't really feel like doing that right now. So the only other thing I thought of was, let's do some smudging. So I'm going to be talking, and we're going to be smudging today. So smudging is good because it helps clear energy, and hopefully I won't be censored for copyright when I'm smudging. I guess I'll try not to sing or something. So welcome. How are you doing? I'm very interested to know. In fact, I really love to have a bit more of a conversation in our video today, especially because I won't be playing an instrument. So I encourage you to check in with yourself and see how you're doing right now. Like, as you stop and you check in, do a little scan of yourself and see how you're doing. Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling productive? Are you feeling safe? Are you feeling warm? Are you feeling scared? What are you feeling at this time? We have a tendency to, when we check in, or when we're not probably really checking in, but when we think, or when we're asked, how do we feel? If we're not saying just fine, but if we've asked how we feel, we tend to go back to how we did feel, maybe an hour ago or this morning or yesterday, or we tend to project into the future and think about or react with how we anticipate we're going to feel later. So we have a real, I don't know if it's really a danger, but we have this tendency to be out of the moment when we're checking in with ourselves. So when I'm asking you now, how do you feel? I'm very much interested in this present moment. Because sometimes it's surprising to know that, hey, I thought I was feeling this way or that way based on my projections, past or future, but actually I'm feeling okay right now. So I ask you that. How are you feeling right now? And what do you feel that you need? So based on what you determine is your current state of feeling, what do you determine that you need right now? So usually it will be based on what you observe as how you're feeling. So whatever you determine as that right now, what do you need to support you through that emotion or that space or that state that may be not that good? So if you're feeling pretty good, there's probably nothing you need, and you're probably A-okay in this moment. If you're struggling, if you're in a low space, if you're angry, there might be some things that you can think of that you need. So I also ask you that. Keep it private if you want, reflect on that yourself, or you're very welcome to comment and let me know. So welcome. What my plan is not to play a musical instrument. I will be using my healing energy cards though, and I'm going to pull a card in just a moment, and we'll chat about that. And then I'll pull a card again at the end. And at some stage, I'm going to do some smudging with the sage. So that's really good for helping clear energy. So let's pull a card. Should we pull? No, I'm going to go through the comments first. We might not have many because, like I say, Facebook censoring, but 24 viewers right now is pretty good compared to the card reading video where I had about 10. So maybe they're lightening up on their censorship. Welcome, Susie. And Josh says Josh really needs support today. So it sounds like you're here for a reason, as I'm sure we all are. So welcome, Josh. Hi, Bronwyn. How are you doing? I trust you're well. Hi, Heather. Heather's from the UK. It's 11:30 a.m. here. And Facebook is a nightmare. As a business owner myself, I feel for you. Yeah, and, it's interesting, isn't it? I've been on Facebook since 2009, so I was one of the first pages here before it became kind of trendy. So I noticed, reflecting back on all those years, that I've had to, as a lot of us have been, just really creative in the way I navigate through, because in some cases, images are really successful. At other times in the past, they've just wanted 2 lines of text, nothing else. Sometimes they really don't favour links, although they still tend to do that, and they're hot for video. So you've got to kind of navigate, be really creative with the way you deal with Facebook. So in general, it's pretty good for me. But, I don't like them much right now, censoring my music. I mean, honestly. Michelle, welcome. Hi, Jill from New South Wales. Hi, Chrissy. Hello, Clara. And Josh says that Facebook is walking on eggshells. Yes. Chrissy, hello. Chrissy says, I'm feeling very excited. All good things are happening. Yes. And that's pretty contagious, isn't it? Reading that and feeling that. I'm feeling very excited. All good things are happening. I mean, that's got to ripple out. That ripples out to me. Is it rippling out to you as well, as you hear how well and how excited Chrissy is doing? Thank you, Chrissy, for that. Joshua says, in this moment, I'm feeling confident and strong. And that is infectious too. Can you feel that rippling out? It ripples out to me, and I can feel it hit me straight in the heart, like these ripples of energy as I celebrate with you, Josh, that you're feeling confident and strong. That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. And it's inspiring. Hi, Leah. Hi, Nicole. How are you doing? Bronwyn says, going back to massage healing work, it feels a bit scared, but never had to advise before. Never had to advise before with your healing work. I'm a little bit confused. But I think it's natural, isn't it, to feel a bit scared about what you're about to step back into. So wishing you all success in your massaging and healing work there, Bronwyn. Thank you. Clara says it's 12:30 in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm feeling a bit tired after the heat, so I think we all need energy. Sounds like you need energy, so take some big deep breaths, Clara. And anyone that's feeling a bit low or tired, and I trust that you're feeling energized already just by hearing these great connections. Kerry says, hello, following with the leaking mitral value. I don't know what that is. Please explain if you want to, Kerry. I don't understand at all, actually. Cheryl has COVID and is in hospital. Sending you lots of love, Cheryl, and I trust that you recover very quickly. Sending you lots of healing and strength and support. Snajis, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Hold on. I should have done language at school, shouldn't I? Jazana, Snajasna. Oh, God, golly, I don't know how to pronounce your name at all. Jazana. Welcome. Jazana says, I'm excellent this morning. The energy has shifted and I feel protected. Fantastic. And also infectious. Thank you so much. Welcome, Jill. And Bronwyn says, advertise before. Bronwyn hasn't had to advertise before. Well, it's just communicating, isn't it? You know, I was saying in a video a couple of days ago that I see marketing, advertising, unless you add the psychology sort of side of things and the manipulation these days, which I certainly don't myself, but marketing, good old-fashioned marketing or advertising is just communicating. So you're just communicating yourself, what you do, what you offer, and putting it out there so people know about what you're offering and have a choice to come see you. So it's just communication. It's just, so what I would suggest when I've been thinking about that in the past and what I do, it's really important for me to assess this from time to time too, to really assess what I do, because mine's sort of always flexible and flowing and changes slightly as I advance myself, I suppose, over the years. So I like to check in and get really clear about what I want to offer and what I am offering, and the boundaries I have up, and make sure that's communicated really clearly in what I'm marketing or advertising. So I trust that helps. Okay, let's grab a card, guys, and see what we need to talk about today, or what we need to do with our smudging. So take a nice big breath. I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared will support you at this time. Hi, Kerry. Kerry says heart value leaking operation to repair. Oh, heart valve leaking operation to repair in August, going with the flow in life until that's over. Yeah, and that makes sense. One day at a time, Kerry, and I trust it all goes well. And it must be a little, or quite scary leading up to that. So nice and gently. Okay, guys, let's see which card we need today. The best card for the majority of us at this time is this, and it's this. We got this card yesterday in the healing event for Pillar of Light members, and very timely. So it's card 43, I am expanding. It consistently shows up, this card. It's been consistently showing up probably for a year or more. It just every now and then pops in just to remind us, quite regularly and consistently. It's in the rise category, and down here it says, your light is expanding. Oh, what's Facebook doing here now? Anyway, your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding. Release who you are for what you could become. Release who you are for what you could become. In other words, maybe consider the things about you and maybe your attitude, your behavior that are actually holding you back at this time, because we do tend to hold ourselves back a little more than we probably give ourselves credit for. It says opportunities and higher self. So this is about our expanding light, our expanding hearts, expanding love, expanding this connection that we feel to ourselves perhaps, but especially to spirit or our spiritual connections, our spiritual interests, the spirit world, the universe, the creator. All that energy feels very expanded from what we might be seeing happening or dealing with directly in our life. So what I'm feeling from this is that there is an expanded, bigger picture happening here. A higher purpose, a higher plan. I love that. It reminds me of that song by Cosmic Evolution, which I'm certainly not going to sing because of copyright reasons and censorship. But it's called The Higher Plan, and I can hear it just playing in my head. The higher plan. Are you connected with your higher plan? Where does your higher plan come from? Does it come from a source outside of you, like the creator or God, your goddess, great spirit, the universe? Does your higher plan come from your higher self, your soul, your spirit? Does your higher plan come from your heart? Does your higher plan come from a connection with others, with things, with beings, with life that is this interconnected network that joins us all? Where does your higher plan come from? Who decides this? What decides your higher plan? Do you decide your higher plan before you come into this body, into this life, if you believe in such a thing? So where do you feel it comes from? And can you tap into that source, that director, that directed energy, that directed force or power, our soul, our higher self, whatever you feel at this time? Can you tap into that higher power, that higher plan, that higher directive that sits above and beyond the everyday stresses and dramas of life? And if you could connect with that, how would you do it? Is it an awareness for you that that potentially exists? And maybe like what I'm feeling is like, is it an extended awareness for you? Like I'm imagining right now, like my aura around me, my energetic field is expanding out and tapping into like an awareness, like an expansion, a personal expansion that's connecting in with that higher directive, that higher plan, the creator out there, but maybe the creator in here. If we're all connected, or if we're connected to that part of us, then the creator might feel like it's, or whatever word you'd like to use, like it's kind of out there and expansive and above us in some ways. But actually, if we're a part of that, then it's also within us. It's interesting indeed. So what I'm feeling as I'm talking here is this expansion, this growing of our energy fields, a growing of awareness and perception of something more, something bigger, something higher, something more powerful, a bigger picture thing that is not the nitty-gritty of the everyday dramas of life. And yeah, sure, there are things that we go through in life that are big deals, but there's also a lot of stuff in between that may not be as big of a deal as we might think at the time. So sometimes we blow small things out of proportion. And I feel what I'm talking about here is to help us get perspective of that little thing, and is it really a big deal? So if you've been sweating the small stuff lately, maybe this is also to help you let that go in some ways and expand your awareness and your vision, your self into that higher energy. Or we could say the inner energy, however you perceive it to be right now, because there's no right or wrong way. It's just personal based on what we feel. So I am expanding. Can you feel that expansion? Can you feel your aura expanding out as you connect in? As you breathe, it grows. It's a bit like, as you breathe in, you're blowing up a balloon, and the balloon is your aura. It's your energy field. It's your heart. It's your spirit. It's your soul. And you're breathing in and you're expanding yourself, like you're blowing yourself up as this balloon, getting larger and wider and more expanded. So let's see how this resonates with us now that we've talked about this. I am expanding. Your light is expanding, not your lower ego demanding. Release who you are for what you could become. Opportunities and higher self. Okay, let's light the sage. And I do sincerely apologise for no music. I love to do the sound healing, but just a bit restricted with that right now. So let's light some sage here. So take some nice big breaths. And we're preparing to let go. Now, as we let go of what's holding us back, we create a space or a room to expand. So it's like surrendering, releasing, letting go of the stuff that we're holding on to, the stuff that's cluttering us, gives us room to expand and grow. And this feels like a really strong part of the connection today. So take some nice big breaths and feel yourself grow and expand. And if you feel a bit blocked with that, which you might, then maybe instead use this as a time to breathe out and let go. Let go of your worries, your stresses, the pressure that you're under, and the everyday stuff that you're dealing with in your life. It might be not be stuff you can forget about. So there might be some big deal things happening for you. So it's probably not something to forget about, but something maybe just to let go of for a little while. I like to imagine that I put those things that I still have to think about later in a box outside the door so that I can just fully be here and give myself a break from all that stuff that's going on. So that's just the reality of life. So think about what you need to let go of, or also give some thoughts to your expansion and your growing. That's connecting with the Creator, your God, Goddess, the universe, with Great Spirit within you. So we can't have any music, but we can breathe quietly. So let's take 4 nice big breaths, and I'm not going to speak. So use this as a time of quiet connection, reflection, introspection, contemplation, feeling, and quiet, whatever you need. So nice big breath. Breathing out and letting go. Breathing in and expanding yourself. So as you breathe in, you let life in, you let yourself grow, you let yourself expand, you let yourself feel alive. And as you breathe out, you let go of anything and everything that you've been holding on to. So this release and this receive, this out and in, this ebb and flow, this rhythm of life. Okay, let's put out the good old smudge stick. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to pull a card to go. So before I do, you know what to do. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, then please send us a message through our website. If you would love to learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance, if you would love to connect with my work deeper, if you resonate with my way and my approach and my philosophy, if you like, then there are lots of resources you can find on my website and lots of tools that I've created over the last 17 plus years to help support you. So please have a look on my website if you are inspired to, and if you want to support my work, because I'm here because of you. So thank you. If you just joined in, we were talking about and smudging and breathing with this card. I am expanding. I am expanding. And some other words that feel similar to me are I am growing. I am improving. I am becoming. So let's grab a card to go. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's grab a card to go. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need. It's how do we bring this energy and this feeling that we've just created into our everyday life where it counts. So how can we carry this forward into our day today as we turn this off? What do we need to know to mix? Oh, we had a little glitch in the Starlink, but I'm back. Okay, so what do we need to know? Moving on from here is this. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I thought this was a different card until I read it. It's card 56, and it's called Uncovering the Heart. It's in the depth category here. And down here, it says, reveal and release smallness. We can't expand and grow very far if we think ourselves small and insignificant. And our lack of self-belief, lack of self-confidence, our self-doubts, self-criticism, all this sort of stuff keeps us small and locked away. If we listen to the crazy in the world, in society, which tends to want to keep us scared and divided, because it's easier to conquer if we're divided. United we stand, divided we fall. So to be small, divided, scared, feeling insignificant, hesitating, all this stuff is like what I was talking about with that card where I said, your light is expanding, growing. The light we've just been connecting with, I'm sure you can feel it even a little bit from before. Not your lower ego demanding. So your lower self, your small self, and all that stuff I'm talking about keeps you small. And you can't really grow much or perhaps at all if you're feeling small in yourself. If you're feeling scared and divided and separate and doubtful and hesitant, you're going to keep yourself small, and which is the opposite of expanding and growing and becoming. So the first line, the first sentence in this card says to reveal to yourself and release smallness so that you can continue to grow. It says remove layers that have been covering up your heart. You know why we cover up our heart? To protect ourselves. We do that when we've been hurt in the heart or hurt in love or someone close to us has hurt us. We put up a guard or a covering over our heart to protect ourselves, to survive. But there does reach a time where we don't need that covering and coating anymore. And somehow we go through life and we still carry and drag that around with us, even though a part of us or a large part of us has moved on from the hurt of what happened. So to cover up your heart is to hide yourself back. It's to keep you small. And in other words, based on what we've done today, it's to stop you from growing and stop you from loving and stop you from being loved. So actually we might have, if you've been covering your heart for a while because you've been hurt in the past, and I'm very sorry that you've been through that, we reach a point in our life where that situation is over. Hopefully that's for you now. Maybe you're still moving through stuff. But if that's been over for a while, that covering, that coating, that keeps us small too. That keeps us from expanding and growing. So a key for some of us here in moving forward now into our life and feeling that expansion that I was talking about before is to really look at the things within us and our thoughts and our words and our attitude and our behaviour that keeps us small and keeps us contained and keeps us locked away and keeps us isolated and separate and divided within ourselves. Because that stuff, if that's the prominent part of who you are in your daily life, you're probably not going to feel like you're achieving much or that you're growing much or that you're feeling loved very much or supported very much because of that predominant feeling of smallness. So if you've been feeling covered in your heart, there tends to be a fear that if I let my guard down, I'm going to be hurt again. And this is where we need to really reassure ourselves that we're not going to be hurt again, that we're stronger now, and that we can perhaps set up some clearer and stronger boundaries that we didn't have before. Maybe we're older than we were when that past event caused us to close off our heart. We can reassure ourselves through that opening up and that letting the guard down in our heart, because that fear of being hurt again will keep the guard up. So to reassure ourselves that it's safe for us will help us put the guard down. And then you know what happens? What happens is like what happened before, where we grow and we expand. And we start expanding ourselves so much that we feel the love and the support around, or whatever words you want to use, our connections to spirit. We feel that around and it flows into us too. So we start attracting people that feel that way or similar. We start attracting better situations and people that align with that more open and healed part of ourselves. It says, heal and open your heart so you can be more of who you truly are. You can't be who you truly are if your heart is covered up and you're covered up and you've been keeping yourself small. So this is a healing of the heart, basically, so that you can feel and tap into that growing, that expansion that I've been talking about before. So moving forward, if this resonates with you, this is what I would be focusing on. So how would you do that? Like I said, reassure yourself, but also be aware of what is limiting you within. So what are you on guard about? What are you feeling hurt about? Where are your wounds sitting? So being aware of that stuff and getting some clarity around it will help you understand it, so that you can hopefully take the strength that you've gained from that experience to allow yourself to move forward and in some ways move on, so that you can stop being a prisoner to what happened, or a prisoner to the wounds or the smallness, the guardedness that you have up to keep yourself protected and safe. So I trust that supports you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you. I will be back again soon at some point. So I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. And I will talk to you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.